We are now officially 4 years into the 2020s decade. The decade that we thought was going to be like the 1920s, where there was a bunch of innovation, new fashion, new culture trends, bringing in of fun times, happy times, and also there were some challenging times, but we were able to band together and solve it. Instead, we have had the opposite of that in the 2020s. And I figured, since I hate this decade so fucking much, what better way than to make a rant video about it? Because that is the best way to make a video about how much I fucking hate something. And so I decided, I hate this fucking decade. Why not make a rant video about it? So in this video, I have three topics only, and two of them are the same topic. It's a it's a before and after. And in this video, I will be giving my thoughts on this decade so far. My feelings are very much apparent in this video, and I want to discuss where we went wrong as a society and where we are as a country right now and where we are in the world. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Leave a like, and let's go ahead and get right into the video.
New reports published yesterday by the CDC say nearly 18 million Americans experienced symptoms of long COVID in 2022, and nearly 9 million people currently have the condition. Now, the condition occurs when patients have symptoms at least 4 weeks after they have cleared the infection. In some cases, symptoms can be experienced for months or years.
That news clip in a nutshell pretty much explains what's going on with the world nowadays and what has caused a lot of the problems that we have today in society. COVID has obviously halted a lot of things, including work, including travel, including education. It really fucked up a lot of people's education. Not mine when I was in high school. I was already an online kid. I didn't even have to deal with it. It was just like another day. But for a lot of people, it was a hard adjustment, a lot of loneliness, and then a lot of like wanting attention. So in a lot of the videos in the past where I've discussed people's issues and Gen Z issues and Gen Z problems, I blame COVID for a lot of it because COVID really brought the problems with Gen Z that people like to complain about. And granted, I feel like a lot of it was due, because they were bored. But yeah, and that's partly true. They want attention. They were attention seeking. And that's why they use social medias like TikTok to promote the attention spans of people who need only a 15-second attention span. So they use those apps to promote that. And another thing about COVID during the era of COVID, with being on sides, being in Zoom meetings, we've also had the presidential election time. Now, I will be getting more into the presidential side of stuff in another video that I will is either going to be the most political or controversial video I ever made, or the second most political or controversial video I ever made. Yeah, no, like I said with the content, I'm not fucking around anymore. I'm just not going to give a fuck. And this video is another example of me just not giving a fuck. And going back to the topic at hand, like I said, COVID also brought to limelight a movement known as Black Lives Matter. Now, there has been a lot of talk, a lot of videos made about BLM, how if you weren't a BLM supporter, you were the worst person alive, you should go die in a hole, you're this, you're that. And it was, in a way, it was like gaslighting people. It was, in a way, gaslighting people to be like, oh, if you don't support Black lives, you're an absolute piece of shit that deserves to be, like, jumped off a cliff, castrated, hung, whatever it may be. It didn't matter to these people. These people thought, that you were a monster for not believing that everyone should be, everyone matters. Not just like including black lives, because they were including black lives, but those people were so stupid enough to not believe that they thought, oh, it's just the black people. You white people deserve to die in a hole. Like, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. And not to mention the people who are behind that organization are really shitty people, actually. The ones that told you, oh, you're a white supremacist for just existing. Yeah, no, like these people bought $1 million mansions with the money donated by most people who actually wanted to try to make a change. And they used that donation money to go buy mansions in a predominantly white area. So these people are frauds. And also they also went bankrupt like a year and a half ago. So that put a good smile on my face when I saw they filed for bankruptcy. So, which means they have no comeback. They can't come back from it. When you file from bankruptcy, it means you were absolutely fucked. And that was a good example of something done right in society, and that's bankrupting the frauds like those guys. Like, no, fuck them, honestly. Then, of course, you had basically fascist terrorist riots, or as the media like to call,
peaceful protests.
and other shit like that.
Protesters walking now, but they have several cars that have sort of joined the protest as well. And it's now just sort of a merry caravan. It is worth pointing out that it has been entirely peaceful, sometimes angry, but entirely peaceful. A few people doing some graffiti. When others saw them doing the graffiti, they would shut them down, make them stop doing it. Bottle thrown, which is not uncommon.
That video clip is an example of clowns in the mainstream media promoting this type of bullshit that you see on a regularly occurring basis. And this is also an example of losing trust in the mainstream media. And during COVID, it really opened the eyes a lot to people of how much the frauds these people really are. You get a degree in journalism, you make a career in lying, you know what I'm saying? That is an example of that right there. And another example of what COVID really brought, besides fear-mongering propaganda like that, is a lot of people statistically had more mental health problems during COVID than in years prior. Why would that be the case? Well, isolation is one of the things. The other thing, which we'll get into in a minute, is, like I said, loneliness, not being able to be with friends. The mix of education being this and that, and then the propaganda with education nowadays being the way it is and how difficult it can be. And the third being what we're going to get into next. So let's go ahead and get into this, because this topic deserves to be its own topic on its own before we wrap into the post-COVID topic, which we will get into later on. This has been such a big issue in the 2020s that I figured I'd have to make my own separate topic just to talk about it. And that is division. Whether it's personal feelings, religion, different beliefs, and most importantly of all, different political beliefs. And most of the time with these political bipartisan divides, it's made people conscientious of others in a way that it comes off negatively affecting them. And it makes them feel like, oh, you're a piece of shit for like no reason, just because you believe something different. It makes you look bad. It makes you seem like a terrible person. And the people that are promoting the division, is the U.S. government, the ones that are in charge. They're laughing at you. They're laughing at you. And I think, I can't believe I'm using a term from this man, but I think Andrew Tate said this best. They want to keep the poor people like divided because it makes them richer. And I truly believe he's correct in that situation. I know it's like, oh, you're taking an Andrew Tate thing. And I know he is a very extreme person and says a lot of out of pocket shit. But in that situation, he's correct because they do want to keep the poor people divided. They want to keep you and me, the poor people, divided so they can keep making money off of us so they can give the taxpayer money to fucking Ukraine, Israel, France, whoever else they want to give money to. They would rather give money to Mexico before giving money to us. That is just a straight up fact. They would rather give money to freaking... I bet they would give money to freaking Czechoslovakia before they give money to us to fix the issues we have with crime. Crime rate has been up significantly since COVID. Like I said, the suicide rate has increased. Men's mental health and women's mental health have both decreased. I feel like mental health does not get talked about enough. And I feel like COVID really affected a lot of people's mental health. And the division's also affecting a lot of people's mental health because they're keeping... if we can make sure we can keep giving them stimulus checks so they don't work, let's keep them talking about how much we hate certain people in politics. Let's keep them tweeting about it, and we can laugh at this. They're laughing at us. And then other world leaders are laughing at our country because we're not united. We used to be a powerhouse back in the day, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to go into a more in-depth with that in another video, which is going to be the most... Oh my God. Like, when I say y'all are not prepared when that video drops, oh my God, y'all are not ready for it. Y'all are so not ready for it. Because I'm going in. Because I just don't care anymore. I just don't care. And the division, like I said, goes even further than just the presidential campaign. Even the White House. I wish I had the old screenshot of when it was the vaccinated versus the unvaccinated. So the people who didn't want to take the COVID vaccine, because they felt like, the vaccine seemed very rushed. There's articles out now, by the way, I want to tell you that explain the health hazards of the vaccine. I just want y'all to be aware that there are articles out now explaining the health hazards of the vaccine. When we were called conspiracy theorists for believing something different than what Dr. Fauci was telling us, and they didn't like that. They did not like that at all, actually. And I think the letter was like, you are looking at a winter of severe sickness for the people that you will invade hospitals, for the people you will infect because you're such a shitty person for not taking the vaccine and being a good little sheep. You know, it's funny. I didn't even get mad at it. I just thought it was funny. It is very passive aggressive. It is the typical standard of what being in the Biden administration's like. You just got to be passive aggressive with everything, and you'll get by in life. And so, but it is what it is. I don't even know why these people just want to keep division, other than the fact that it's just more of a power play. It's more of a power play on us. And COVID really is starting to expose a lot of the issues with these people that has been going on for a long time now, actually. I feel like COVID is also explained the division issue. The media is also lying to us. And the reason why I wanted to make this a separate point, because I felt it was important to at least highlight the issues with division and why being more united, putting differences aside, is more important. And I'm going to give you two reasons. Reason number one, you are happier getting to be nicer and understanding. It takes a lot more effort to be hateful. You can feel it when you're like that. It takes a lot more effort to be hateful. Like these old statues that look like they're 175,000 years old telling you this shit. It's a lot easier to be nicer. Reason number 2, there are things worth fighting for. Even if it seems like it's not, there is. Fighting your inner demons, and then I feel like in the next, I don't know, 5 years, this country is going to go into a civil war. And I feel like that will be the answer to all the callings. And that's the reason why, like, that's why I said division's a bad thing. It's going to lead to a war eventually with ourselves. And that's what they want. They want that issue. They want the division problem. They want to give you that problem in general. And to stop that issue, what you should do is not give in to what they say. Do something different. Read up on stuff. Read different topics. And I think from the COVID era, which was 2020 to 2022, really explained the division issue and is exposing a lot of the frauds in Congress and the frauds with media statistics and lying and the marketing of lying. It's so much easier to make a profit lying than it is telling the truth, because you're making more money lying. And I feel like people exposing that, it's a good thing, because you're exposing bullshit. That's why I love people like Tucker, because Tucker just doesn't give a shit. Even Fox fired him. That's why I don't even care about other mainstream media. I care about true journalism, and Tucker's one of the very few true journalists out there. And if you don't think that, you can go argue with a fucking wall. So this will lead me into my last point and the final wrap up of this video of why I fucking hate this decade so much, man. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. After COVID, we have also had the decrease in intelligence, as I was mentioning earlier in the video, the decrease in intelligence from brain rot apps such as TikTok have shown the example of the attention span of people nowadays. People would rather be consuming 15-second content than just go read a fucking book. That's actually kind of sad, because most of nowadays, you see the education problem. Most people are going to be staring at Chromebooks all day rather than actually writing a piece of paper. Man, when I was in school, we weren't staring at a Chromebook all day. This started to happen right towards the finishing part of my education. Like I said, I can't imagine being a public school student in the year 2024. I'm glad I was a public school student, and I'm glad I did online from when I did, because I just can't imagine being a public school student in the year 2024. I can't imagine being a teacher in 2024 too, because it's kind of sad, you know? Kids you're giving children iPads at the age of 2. It's already going to discover brain rot for these kids. I'm not trying to be like an old boomer saying that, but like, take your kids outside. Let them be kids. They don't need to be discovering brain rot. TikTok is a great example of a brain rot app, because you see all these like, oh, you can see the new TikTok trend, ooh, and they come off as a fucking moron. I mean, the amount of TikTok slang people use nowadays, even at college, people are going to be using this shit. And I sit there and the look of disappointment on my face is immeasurable. I just feel my disappointment in society is just really what makes me just the saddest. And TikTok's a great example of an app that is so beyond dumb that it brings out the worst. Just brings out the worst in a lot of people. It brings out the worst in a lot of shit. Same with other social media such as like Instagram, Snap, and God forbid if you use this still, Facebook. And it brings out the just the worst. It just brings out the worst. And post-COVID, we are glued to social media more than ever. Even more than I think we were even in COVID, which is, it says a lot. Jobs, nobody wants to work. They want to talk about increased wages. In fact, there was some person, I kid you not, who was it? I think this was a judge or person running for Senate in California, said that they wanted to make the minimum wage $50. Now, if you are a dumbass and you think, oh, that's great, and you're going to be like sitting there thinking about work $50 wage, minimum wage, that sounds fucking amazing. I just want you to be real. I just want y'all to be for real for a second. We are $38 trillion in debt. You can go look at the debt clock. It goes up every second. It's going up as every second as I talk in this video, it is going up. And immaculately going up. Do you realize how poor we are as a society? Imagine a $50 minimum wage. Our McDonald's meals would be $100. I just want y'all to be aware of that. $50 minimum wage. This woman has the IQ of a fucking flea that is not even diseased yet. It's already diseased from when she said that. Absolute fucking dumbass. How do we get people like this in politics, man? That's why I fear for the future. That's why I fear for the future. So in conclusion, post-COVID has brought a lot of brain rot. I can go into a whole ass conversation about brain rot with whoever. If y'all want to say in the comments about social media, say, oh, TikTok's not brain rot. I want you to explain to me how TikTok's not brain rot. I want a MLA formatted essay on how TikTok is good for humanity and it's not brain rot. And does it express awareness? You see those ads like, oh, it's helped build my business. That's 1 in a million right there. TikTok doesn't help build your business. TikTok helps ruin people's lives. And also the Chinese are spying on you in that app too. So yeah, we'll just leave it at that. So if you want to write a MLA format essay in the comments of this video, I'll be happy to read it. I'll give you a grade on a 5-point scale, like this is my class from last semester, and I will tell you how he did. And make sure you actually use good grammar. Most of you morons that use TikTok have terrible grammar. And I'm not saying, and just so you know, I'm not calling out every TikTok user. If you're just using TikTok for memes, you're chilling. If you just watch it for the memes, you're chilling. I'm talking about like the ones that make the TikToks, consume TikTok, use TikTok slang, all this bullshit, bro. Like, you seek God. Please, for the love of God, go seek God. Find God. Find Allah. Find Buddha. Find a book. Just find something. Because you need help. And then in conclusion, if you, for some reason, think I'm wrong, well, maybe you didn't listen to the rest of this 20-plus minute extravaganza that you did not listen to. So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching. If you do not want brain rot from my content, you will not get brain rot from my content. You will only get the smartest and most qualified educational content from commentary that you will ever get on the Brady Vacationing YouTube channel. So, in conclusion, I fucking hate this decade. If for some reason the 2030s is like correlated to what the New Deal is like, I fear for our future. I fear for our future, man. This is why growing up in the 2000s and then the early 2010s was so fun. So much fun. Then we get into this crap. Makes me sad. You know, it's hard to be happy nowadays. It really is. So, thank you so much for the support on the latest videos. truly means the world to me that even being gone for 9 months, I can still get viewers coming back, and I'm also loving the engagement from you all as well. It's been fun engaging with y'all in the comments section. Let me know what type of videos you like to see. I got a bunch of content ideas. And when I say a bunch of content ideas, I mean I have a whole notepad full and continuously adding stuff so I don't run out of ideas and get content burnout, because the stuff I'm writing is like, oh, this is fun. I want to make a video like this. And that's why you're, in conclusion, seeing more content, because I'm having more fun doing this shit than ever before. So thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.